first thing that I do is when I wake up, I go into gratitude. I say thank you to God for another day. 150,000 people didn't wake up today, and I wasn't one of them. So I'm very grateful for that. And then I focus on 1 to 3 things that I'm grateful for. I think about experiences that I had the day before, the week before, or the month. And then I focus on those 3 things, and it just puts me in a positive state of mind. And I was doing some research around gratitude, and gratitude I saw on Psychology Today that increases happiness by 25%. And then what it also does, it reduces depression and improves your sleep as well. What it also does, it boosts your immune system to function better, and it also builds up your resilience. So being grateful is something that I have been practicing for some time, and it definitely has put me in a more positive state of mind and also has increased my energy, my health, my well-being. Also, my confidence has increased as well because of it. And then when I'm done with my gratitude, I then stretch while I'm laying in bed. And I do a few stretches, maybe for about 5 minutes. And this stretching has helped me out a lot because I know that when you're waking up, that you're a little bit, sometimes you could be have like a stiff neck or just like stiff shoulders, stiff arms, legs. So by you just stretching out while you're laying there, it helps you to be present. It also helps you with your breathing. I when I do my stretching, I like to make sure that I am also breathing, taking some nice deep breaths in, breathing out, to make sure that I'm also taking care of that part of myself. And I was also reading the benefits of just stretching while you're laying in bed. And what this does, it increases your blood flow, your alertness, because when you're waking up, you're feeling groggy, you're feeling kind of out of it. But when you're stretching, it's already increasing your blood flow and your alertness. And then what it also does, it improves my flexibility has helped me out a lot, especially as I'm getting older. It's helped me out a lot with flexibility. It's also reduced the probability of getting injured because as you're getting older, and if you're really a stiff person, you could easily get injured. And then what it also does, it enhances your mobility. It also relieves the stiffness from the sleep that you got, because after you're sleeping, you might have like a stiff neck, like I mentioned earlier, or just a stiff body. So once I'm done with the stretching, with the gratitude, what I then do is I go into the bathroom, and and then before I go into the bathroom, I drink some water. I drink about 32 ounces of water before I go into the restroom. And then I go into the restroom, and then I do some affirmations. And what I do when I do these affirmations, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and then I say to myself some affirmations that I learned from Tony Robbins. And when I'm saying this in a loud voice, not too loud because I do wake up pretty early, but I say it loud enough for myself to hear myself. And the ones that I say myself personally is, now I am the voice. I will lead, not follow. I will believe, not doubt. I am a force for good. I am a leader. I defy the odds. I set a new standard, and then I say, I step up, step up, step up, and I just hit my chest just hard, and to increase that blood flow. And then what I also do is I say to myself these 3 affirmations that have helped me out a lot. And the first affirmation that I say is, I expand in abundance, success, and love every day as I inspire those around me to do the same. This affirmation has helped me to focus on expanding in love, loving people. It also has helped me to expand in abundance. And I don't mean just like with money, I mean with relationships, with love, with gratitude, and success. And when I am looking at myself as a success, what that also does is that inspires other people to be successful. That inspires other people to be abundant. That inspires other people to be loved. And when you're a person that's an example of being abundant, being loved, being successful, then what that does is that inspires other people. And it's like that quote by Gandhi that says, be the change you wish to see in the world. By you making a change in your life, by you changing your life, it also inspires other people to change their life. So for me, those affirmations have helped me out a lot. Now, in regards to these affirmations, what they do is they also activate the the brain's reward system. You're already rewarding your brain with positivity. And just remember, when you're saying positive words, those words they turn into a thought. That thought creates the way you feel. That feeling creates the action you take, and that action creates the result that you get. If you get a positive result, here comes another positive thought, feeling, action, result. So it's helping you activate that positive side of your brain, which is really important for us to start the day. This also improves your self esteem, your confidence. If you're speaking good to yourself, you're going to be good to yourself. And when you're good to yourself, that's going to give you the confidence that you deserve and that you desire. And then what it also does, it shifts those limiting beliefs that you have. So what you're doing is you're also rewiring your brain for success. Just to start the day, you're already programming your brain to do something positive, to believe in yourself, to not doubt yourself. So for me, that's why it's been really important for me to be able to do this activity in the morning to help that belief in myself. So now, when I'm done with the affirmations, what I do is I go and sit on my couch and then I do 20 minutes of meditation. I used to suffer with anxiety, like extreme anxiety to the point where my thoughts would literally make me sweat. And when I started doing meditation, I started doing it for 30 seconds because I was a really impatient person. I could not sit there for minutes because I honestly didn't even like to sit with my thoughts. And I remember reading an article where they asked 1,000 people if they would rather sit with their thoughts for 15 minutes or just get a quick shock that would hurt them, but they wouldn't have to sit with their thoughts. And there was about an alarming amount of percentage. I don't remember exactly the percentage, but it was about like 40% of people said that they would rather have the shock than sit with their thoughts for 15 minutes. And I would probably would have been one of those people if that would have been like 15 years ago, where I would just say, you know what, just give me the shock. I don't even want to have thoughts and sit with my thoughts because I was scared of my thoughts. My thoughts were really negative. My thoughts would take me into really dark places. My thoughts would take me into anxiety. My thoughts would take me into depression, into sadness, because I just really was not happy with myself. I also hated myself. So for me to think about meditating was a big step for me. So for me, when since I did not have the patience to sit there for minutes, I just started with 30 seconds. And then I increased it to 1 minute. And then as I was doing it for 1 minute and I felt good with 1 minute, then I increased it to 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Eventually I got it up to 7 minutes and then 10 minutes. And then I started doing 15. And then eventually I got to 20, and 20 was like the sweet spot. And so for me, I have been able to do meditation for years now, and it's been really transformational. And during this meditation, what I like to do is I like to just sit on my couch. And I learned this through Tony Robbins, where what he does is he feels his body first. And as he's sitting there, what he does is he's throwing up his hands up in the air and then just taking a deep breath, like going, and then I do that 30 times. And then I just sit there and take a nice deep breath and I feel my body. And then I do it again. I do it 3 times. And then I continue to feel my body for a few minutes. And that way I can be present. I can be in the moment. Sometimes it's very hard for people to be in the moment, but in that time period, I just sit there and just feel my body. And then after that, what I do is I go into the next phase, which is I say what I'm grateful for. I say that I'm grateful for my health. I say also that I'm grateful for my family, and I visualize a light going like at the top of my head, through my body, and to my feet. And then I send that light to my kids, to my wife, my family, my immediate family in the house, and then I send it to my mom, her side of the family, my dad, his side of the family, and then I send that light to my clients, and I specifically send them light in regards to maybe a challenge that they're having. And I tell my clients every now and then, hey, I was praying for you, I was meditating about you, but I meditate about them every day. But every now and then I just want to say, reach out to them and let them know, hey, I'm thinking about you, just to let you know I'm praying for you. And then I send the light to my city, my state, my country. all the countries all over the world and then the universe. And then I bring that back light to me, all that love, and I feel it in my heart. And then when I'm done with that phase, I visualize how my day's going to play out, what kind of day I'm going to have. And I visualize the interactions that I'm going to have and that everything's going to go well. I'm visualizing a successful day before the day even starts. And that's helped me out a lot to remind myself of how I want to show up. It's very important that you set up a plan of action in your mind, thinking about how you're going to show up for other people. And then once I'm done with that part, I then go into gratitude again and think about a moment from yesterday that I was grateful for. Like the other day, me and my son, we were just playing in the living room marbles, and then I started to visualize, and then the smile on his face, and how we were playing marbles, and then I feel it in my heart, and then I feel all that gratitude. And then once I'm done with that, then I go into the visualization piece, which is visualizing the future that I desire, the future that I want to create, whether it's with money, relationships, my career, the impact that I want to make in the world. And that's how I end my meditation. That's kind of like the phases that I go through. And that has helped me out a lot to reduce my stress, to reduce my anxiety. It's increased my focus, my emotional regulation. Like I can regulate my emotions and just be a lot more less in what is it? Less reactive and more in the moment. And it also has helped me to like strengthen like my spiritual awareness and then my inner peace as well. My inner peace is so huge for me. It's very important that I have inner peace, because if I'm at peace, then my surroundings will be at peace and the people that I'm around will be at peace. So once I'm done with the meditation, what I do is I then go into my stretching. I stretch for 25 minutes and I do yoga. I do yoga for 25 minutes. And then I also listen to an audio, like a positive audio. I like to listen to sometimes Joe Dispenza, or I also listen to Tony Robbins, or I like to listen to a nice podcast or something spiritual. And as I'm stretching, I'm breathing, I'm feeling good. It's helping me to be in the moment. It's also like a form of meditation as well, to just be present, be in the moment. And again, as I'm getting older, I want to make sure that I'm really flexible, to make sure that I can deal with these things of just bending over or picking things up and that I'm not hurting because of it. And with yoga, what I've noticed in myself personally is just being more aware of my body and being more aware of like, wow, okay, I really need to be doing this stretching, because if I don't, then I'm going to feel stiff and I'm not going to feel good. And it's also improved my circulation, my posture, my joint health. Like I feel like at times I remember I used to have like problems with my knees, and I was young. And now I don't have those problems because of the stretching. And also it helps me out a lot with motivation. It also clears my mind, and it also gives me like a sense of purpose, because if I'm taking care of myself, then I can continue to deliver and help people through my purpose, through my speaking, through my coaching, through helping people with being an author or whatever it is that they want to do. It helps me to stay healthier and helps me to stay strong, to make sure that I am taking care of myself and making sure that I'm taking care of other people. Now, when I'm done stretching, this might be TMI, but then I go into the restroom, and then I have a book there. I always have a book right in the bathroom where I can read it as I'm doing my business for those 5 to 10 minutes. I read maybe 2 to 3 pages. I'm not a really fast reader, but I write it down. And then I also have a pen with myself, and I'm circling stuff, or I'm writing on the book. And then when I write on the book, let's say it's page 9, I circle something that was an insight, and then I go to the back of the book and I put page 9 insight. And then that way I can revisit it, and then I can get some ideas that I can either share in a video, or I can share with clients, or that could be beneficial for myself personally. So for me, that's been really helpful to read as I'm doing my business in the bathroom, to make sure that I'm growing my mindset and that I'm growing myself and that I'm learning. And I remember reading this in a chapter. I don't know if it was a motivational speaker that said the things that are going to make the most impact in your life are the books you read, the people you meet, and also the meetings that you go to. And now that I remember, it was one of the people that I helped with their books, Dan Wilkins. He helped me to remind me of like, yeah, the people that I meet, the meetings that I go to, and the books that I read are gonna make a big impact in my life. And so for me, reading a book, even if it's 2 to 3 pages a day, has been extremely helpful and beneficial in my life, to make sure that I am staying on top of my business, instead of on top of my personal development, my relationships. It's helped me out a lot. So for you, which book are you reading? Are you reading a book? And it's really important that you grow your mindset, whether it's through a book, a podcast, or an audiobook. It's very beneficial for you to continue to grow. Now, once I'm done with going to the bathroom, then I work out for an hour, and I have a treadmill under my desk. Very helpful, very beneficial. I work out, I walk, and then I also work out. I lift weights. I have a bench here in my office. It's just so much quicker to get to instead of going to the gym and doing all these things. I've always worked out at my house, and I walk and then I work out. I usually do maybe like 30 minutes or 50 minutes of walking, and then I lift for maybe 20, 30 minutes. And it's helped me out a lot to just gain that confidence. I mean, it releases those endorphins that it really improve your mood. This also has helped me out with like my it helps with your heart health, obviously, muscle growth and your metabolism. Will help me lose weight. At one point I was almost weighing 270. So just staying in shape and staying healthy to make sure that I'm continuing to serve people around me, the people that I serve at schools or business owners, entrepreneurs, whomever. And also has increased my energy and then also my mental clarity for the rest of the day. Because if you can start your day with doing all these things, I mean, it's going to improve your life in every aspect, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically. It's all tied together. And then once I'm done with my working out, then I take a cold shower. And this cold shower, man, it's been a game changer. It wakes you up for sure. And I know that this increases your alertness and it also improves your circulation. I've heard that it also reduces inflammation and enhances your mood. And then it also builds like mental toughness and willpower. And I also have heard that it helps you with making sure that you face those fears that maybe you wouldn't face before with no problem. Because imagine if you're waking up and the first thing you're doing is taking a cold shower, the rest is easy. If you can take a cold shower early in the morning, especially in the winter, man, it's very powerful. So for you, out of all these things, what do you think that you could do for yourself? And you don't have to start with 20 minutes of meditation, 25 minutes of stretching. You don't have to start with all these things. You can start off with just one. Maybe it could be the affirmations. Maybe it could be the gratitude. Maybe it could be the meditation for 30 seconds. I've had people that they tell me, oh man, it's just I can't do all these things. Well, can you just do one? And can you start off with 30 seconds? Can you do something that simple? It's just about developing the habit of having a routine and taking care of yourself. And also winning the day before the day even starts. I feel like I've won the day when I do my routine early in the morning, and I feel like I can take on the world after this. And then I invite you to just try just one of these habits. Maybe start tomorrow morning. And if you are going to start tomorrow morning, I would like to hear your comments. I would like for you to comment down below as to like which part of the routine you're excited to try and which part of the routine are you going to commit to. Now, if you are a person that's looking for purpose and reinventing yourself and finally like diving into what it is that you want to do, or if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur that's struggling with self-doubt and procrastination and you just want to increase your confidence, your productivity, and your income, I'm offering a free consultation for entrepreneur or business owner that's interested in any of those areas or just finding your purpose. And I would love to give that to you. And also, if you are interested in more videos like this is my YouTube channel. You can subscribe and you can also hit the like button and join us in this adventure where I'll be posting videos every Monday. So to help you with your purpose and